Why is it that despite your long hours, despite your endless effort, despite reading every book and practicing every technique, you still find yourself staring at bills, wondering if abundance will ever truly flow? Pause here. Feel the question in your chest. It is not accusation. It is compassion. It is the echo of countless souls who have walked this path, who have worked harder, tried more, prayed louder, yet still felt lack pressing on them like an invisible weight. You may even wonder, what is wrong with me? Am I missing something? Why does wealth feel like a puzzle with missing pieces? The truth is, beloved, you are not broken. You are not missing the secret ingredient. You are simply gazing into the wrong mirror. Imagine standing before a mirror frowning because the reflection is not smiling. You command the mirror. Smile, show me happiness, show me wealth. Yet the mirror does nothing because the mirror is only reflecting what stands before it. You cannot beg the reflection to change. You must change yourself, and the reflection will follow. This is the paradox of wealth. We have been taught to look outward to measure our worth by the numbers in our accounts, the possessions in our homes, the recognition of others. Yet the outer world is nothing but a mirror, neutral weight and powerless until given form by the self it reflects. And so people chase, they work, they hustle, they sweat, believing that if they force the outer mirror to shift, then at last they will feel wealthy inside. But the mirror does not bend to force. It bends to identity. Florence Scovel Shinn once said, "Your word is your wand." With every word you speak about money, with every silent decree whispered in the chambers of your heart, you are shaping the reflection you see. To say I am broke, I am struggling, I never have enough, is to place those very shapes into the mirror. And faithfully, it shows them back to you. But when you whisper softly, gently, even trembling at first, I am abundant, I am supplied, I am wealthy in my very being, the mirror begins to shimmer with new possibilities. Do you see? Wealth was never an achievement, never a prize to earn, never a mountain to climb. Wealth is an identity. It is not something you chase, it is something you are. And the puzzle unlocks the moment you stop demanding proof from the mirror and instead become the proof. So let us pause again. Breathe. Close your eyes if you wish. Feel the mirror before you. Notice what it has been reflecting. Is it fear? Is it striving? Is it endless effort with little return? If so, let the compassion of this moment wash over you. There's no shame here. Only the quiet realization that you have been facing the mirror, begging it to smile first. But now, something shifts. You are beginning to understand. The reflection cannot move until you do. Wealth is not earned, it is expressed. It is not achieved, it is embodied. You have been standing with the key in your hand all along. As we step forward in this journey, we will open the doors. Florence Scovel Shinn so tenderly revealed. But for now, let this truth begin to settle. You are not chasing wealth. You are remembering it. You are not building identity. You are revealing it. The hidden wealth puzzle was never about the mirror. It was about you. And you, beloved soul, are already the treasure. Take one more breath. Whisper within, I am wealth. Wealth is my nature. And so it begins. Beloved listener, if these words have touched something within you, I invite you to subscribe and stay connected. Each new video is crafted to bring you peace, rest, and the remembrance of abundance. And if you feel moved, supporting this channel allows us to continue creating these gentle spaces where your soul can recharge. Thank you for being here. Over a century ago, in the bustling streets of New York City, there lived a woman whose words would outlast buildings, fashions, and even the changing tides of society. Her name was Florence Scovel Shinn. She was an artist by training, a teacher by calling, and a spiritual pioneer by destiny. In a world where wealth was measured only in dollars and positions, she spoke of another kind of wealth, a divine inheritance that no one could steal, diminish, or withhold. While others preached striving, she whispered of surrender. While others declared limitation, she taught limitless supply. Her message was simple, yet it rattled the very foundations of conventional thought. Abundance is not earned, it is decreed. Prosperity is not achieved, it is spoken into being. Your word is your wand, she proclaimed, and with those words she revealed the timeless key. Consider for a moment the seed and the soil. The seed may be full of life, full of potential, full of destiny, but if dropped upon a barren stone, it cannot take root. Yet when placed in fertile soil, it bursts forth, unfolding into the abundance hidden within. Florence taught that your words are the seeds, and your feelings are the soil. To declare I am wealthy, I am supplied, I live in plenty, is to drop radiant seeds into the waiting ground of the subconscious. But it is the feeling, the soft, fertile soil, that determines whether those seeds grow or wither. This is why so many, even today, find themselves repeating affirmations with no change. They scatter seeds upon the rocky ground of doubt, never allowing the warm rain of feeling to soak them. They say, I am wealthy but feel lack. They say, I am abundant but feel fear. And the soil rejects the seed. Yet when the soil is prepared, when the heart begins to feel the truth, the harvest is inevitable. Florence would tell her students, it is already mine. Say it softly now with me, it's already mine. Feel how the words land within you. Notice if they spark resistance or comfort. That small spark is the soil being tilled. She spoke of abundance not as a distant dream, but as a birthright. Just as the sun does not decide each morning whether to rise, your abundance does not waver. It is law. It is rhythm. It is guaranteed. And what is the key? To decree with authority, to speak with conviction, to feel with certainty. To plant the seed, water it with feeling, and trust the soil of the universe to bring forth the harvest. Imagine this: a farmer does not dig up the seed every day to check if it is growing. He plants, waters, and waits in trust. Florence taught the same with wealth. Once you decree it is already mine, you no longer question or wrestle with appearances. You trust that the soil is doing its perfect work, even when unseen. She taught that the unseen is more real than the seen. For what you see in your life today is only yesterday's decree. It is the reflection of old seeds, old soil, old words. But what you say and feel today is shaping tomorrow's reflection. Pause here, breathe, whisper within, it is already mine. Do you feel the shift? Even if small, even if fragile, it is the beginning of transformation. This is why Florence's words, though spoken over 100 years ago, still vibrate with life. They are not bound to her time, her city, or her voice. They belong to the eternal laws of spirit, as fresh today as the sunrise, as eternal as the sea. And you listening now are part of this living legacy. For just as Florence once spoke to her students, you are being spoken to. The timeless key is being placed in your hand. Say it once more, it's already mine. Not because of effort, not because of struggle, not because of luck, but because abundance is your identity. Florence knew that the mind resists, that appearances scream louder than faith. She called this the test of appearances, but she also knew that appearances are shadows powerless without light. And light is your decree. Every time you declare wealth, every time you feel abundance, you shine the light that dissolves the shadow. So let us stand with Florence in this moment, across the span of years, united in truth. The timeless key has never changed. Your word is your wand. Speak it, feel it, know it, and so it is. And with this key in your hand, you begin to see not only wealth, but yourself in a new light. Pause now. Whisper 3 times slowly with feeling. It's already mine. It's already mine. It's already mine. And so it is. Why is it that those who labor endlessly juggling multiple jobs, sacrificing rest and counting every coin, often feel wealth slip further away, while others who seem to move with ease attract opportunities, resources, and prosperity as if by invisible magnet? This is the paradox. Society whispers, earn first, then feel secure. Achieve first, then feel abundant. Accumulate first, then feel wealthy. And so the world chases endlessly deferring peace until the reflection changes. But Florence Scovel Shinn turned this order upside down. She revealed the divine reversal: feel first, then receive. Identity first, then manifestation. Inner knowing, first outer proof, second. It is not when I have money I will feel wealthy. It is when I feel wealthy money must appear. This paradox is not cruel, it is merciful. It frees you from the treadmill of endless striving. For if wealth depended on the outer first, you could spend lifetimes chasing shadows. But if wealth begins within, then it is as close as a breath, as near as a thought, as certain as the decree of your own heart. Let us paint this paradox with stories. There is a man diligent and weary who rises before dawn to punch the clock. He takes overtime whenever offered, skips holidays, saves every penny. And still he feels lack like a gnawing emptiness. His life is a patchwork of effort with little to show because his inner decree is lack. His words whisper, I never have enough. It's always hard. And the mirror reflects faithfully. Now consider another. She may work fewer hours, she may not appear to hustle, but she carries herself differently. She dresses in simplicity, yet with a quiet dignity, as if wealth flows through her veins. She orders coffee and does not wince at the price. She tips generously, not because of excess in her account, but because her heart decrees, I am supplied. There is more than enough, and money flows to her. Opportunities open. Strangers extend generosity. She is magnetic, not because she strives harder, but because her identity radiates wealth, and the world rushes to reflect it. Do you feel the difference? One is an empty cup held out in desperation, waiting for drops to fill it. The other is an overflowing fountain pouring without fear, and by universal law, she attracts more to match her flow. The cup waits. The fountain creates. This is the paradox Florence revealed. It is not the cup that becomes full and then feels abundant. It is the fountain that feels abundant first, and therefore never empties. Pause here. Feel this image within you. Are you the cup waiting, pleading with the mirror? Or are you the fountain overflowing with an identity that wealth cannot resist? There's no condemnation in this question, only compassion. We have all been the cup. We have all begged the mirror. But today, you are remembering the fountain. This paradox often brings a moment of relief. For years, you may have believed that more effort, more hours, more strategies were the path to freedom. Now you glimpse another way. Effort alone cannot shift the mirror. Identity does. Yet this paradox also carries a challenge, the test of appearances. For when you begin to declare wealth before you see it, the mirror may still show lack. The bills may still arrive. The account may still appear thin. And the mind may cry, "See, it isn't working." But remember, the mirror is slow to catch up. It reflects the old identity until the new decree settles deep into the soil. The seed sprouts beneath the surface long before the harvest is visible. This is where most give up. They abandon the decree at the very moment the soil is preparing to burst forth. They dig up the seed to check, and the growth halts. But you listening now, you are learning to trust the unseen. To decree, "I am wealthy," even when appearances argue otherwise. To whisper, "I am supplied," even as the old reflection flickers. And here lies the true power of the paradox. When you feel first appearances must bow. When you decree identity, the mirror cannot resist. Florence's wisdom was not theoretical. It was proven again and again in the lives of those who practiced it. Stories abound of people who shifted their words and feelings, and the outer world rearranged itself with astonishing precision. Debts, canceled jobs, offered gifts, received inheritances revealed. Not because they hustled harder, but because they embodied wealth and the universe reflected faithfully. Beloved, wealth is not outside you at all. It never was. It was never a number, a paycheck, or a possession. It was always the reflection of your own decree. You are the fountain. You are the soil. You are the one who commands the mirror. Take a breath now. Whisper slowly with conviction. What I feel within the world reflects without. I am already wealthy. I am already supplied. Let the paradox settle not as confusion, but as liberation. You no longer chase. You embody. You no longer beg the mirror. You smile, and the reflection must smile too. This is the paradox revealed. When you feel wealthy first, wealth cannot help but appear. And now the journey deepens. For if wealth begins in identity, how do we step fully into that identity? How do we shift from costume to crown, from effort to embodiment? There is a profound difference between acting wealthy and being wealthy. One is costume, the other is crown. Picture this. A man puts on a royal robe, a jeweled crown, and sits upon a golden chair. Outwardly, he appears as a king. But if within himself he believes he is unworthy, poor, or powerless, he is merely an actor upon a stage. The crown slips, the robe feels heavy, and his own heart betrays him. Now imagine another, who may wear simple clothing, who may walk through humble streets, yet within himself, he knows, "I am royalty, I am wealthy, I am destined." His posture carries dignity. His words carry authority. His spirit radiates certainty. And though no crown adorns his head, the world begins to treat him as king. Do you feel the difference? Identity is not a costume you wear. It is the soil from which everything else grows. Behavior may mimic identity for a time, but it cannot sustain without the root. You can act rich, but unless you believe wealth is your nature, the act will crumble. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn taught identity before effort. She knew that the outer world bends only to the truth of who you believe yourself to be. If you see yourself as poor, every dollar will slip through your fingers. If you see yourself as trying to become wealthy, you will always remain trying. But if you see yourself as wealthy already, as one for whom abundance is natural, effortless, inevitable, then money, opportunities, and provision align themselves to match your decree. Identity is the soil. Feeling is the rain. Together, they grow abundance. Let us pause and draw this into your being. Close your eyes if you wish. Whisper, I am already wealthy. Wealth belongs to me. It is who I am. How does it feel? Notice the resistance if it arises. Notice the doubts, the voice that says, but look at my bank account, look at my bills. These voices are only the echo of the old identity. They are the weeds in the soil. Do not fight them. Simply notice and plant a stronger seed. Affirm again, I am wealthy because it is who I am. This is not pretending. This is not delusion. This is remembering. For you are born of a limitless source. You are a child of abundance itself. The rivers do not struggle to flow. The trees do not force themselves to grow. The sun does not doubt whether to shine. Abundance is the rhythm of the universe, and you are part of that rhythm. Wealth is not behavior, it is essence. It is not costume, it is crown. Let me share a story. There was once a woman who lived modestly. She worked in a small office, her pay just enough for the basics. She often said, I am trying to get ahead, but money always escapes me. Then she encountered Florence Scovel Shinn's teaching, your word is your wand. At first, she resisted. How could words change her finances? Yet something stirred. She began whispering daily, I am wealthy. Wealth belongs to me. She wrote it upon slips of paper. She carried it in her pocket. At first, she felt silly, but slowly something shifted. She began walking with more confidence. She ordered meals without shame. She tipped generously, not because her salary changed overnight, but because her identity did. And within months, promotions came. Unexpected checks arrived. A relative left her an inheritance she had not anticipated. Her world bent to the decree of her new identity. The soil was ready. The rain had fallen. The harvest appeared. This is the principle identity shapes reality. It is not enough to try affirmations. You must become the affirmation. You must breathe it, live it, carry it as truth, even when the mirror has not yet caught up. Florence often reminded her students of the test of appearances, for the mirror lags behind. You may declare wealth and still see lack for a time, but this is the moment of power. For if you hold the identity steady, the reflection must yield. Let us pause together now. Take a deep breath. Whisper, I am already wealthy. Wealth belongs to me. It is who I am. Say it again with more certainty. I am already wealthy. Wealth belongs to me. It is who I am. Say it a third time, as if carving it into the soil of your being. I am already wealthy. Wealth belongs to me. It is who I am. Do you feel the crown settling upon your head, not as a costume, not as a fragile mask, but as a truth that cannot be stolen? From this place, your actions shift naturally. You no longer force generosity, you give because it is who you are. You no longer panic over bills, you trust provision because it is who you are. You no longer chase opportunities, they come to you drawn by the magnet of your identity. This is the identity shift principle, and once it takes root, it cannot be uprooted. For when you know who you are, the world must bow to that knowing. And so, beloved, the invitation is clear. Step into your true identity. Not tomorrow, not when the mirror changes. Now, write it, speak it, declare it. Plant it in the soil until it blooms as your reality. To anchor this truth, I invite you to take part in a simple act of decree. In the comments below, write the words, I am wealthy because it is who I am. Let it not be a wish, but a declaration. A crown upon your head, a seed in fertile soil. And as you write, know that heaven and earth conspire to reflect it back to you. Because identity is everything, and your true identity is wealth. Before a garden bursts into bloom, there's a quieter hidden stage that most pass by without notice. The gardener kneels in silence, hands in the soil, preparing the ground. This is the work that determines everything to come: the harvest, the beauty, the abundance. Without preparation, the richest seeds will lie dormant. So it is with wealth. Florence Scovel Shinn did not promise quick tricks or shallow shortcuts. She pointed again and again to the soil of the soul. For it is here in the unseen that wealth is born. The outer world is only the reflection of the inner garden. If the soil is tangled with weeds of fear, doubt, and struggle, then abundance cannot take root. But when the soil is cleared, softened, and watered with faith, wealth rises as naturally as flowers to the sun. This is the stage we enter now, preparing the ground. Imagine yourself walking into a wide garden. The air is fresh, the earth dark and rich beneath your feet. In your hands are seeds of gold, seeds of prosperity, seeds of identity, seeds of divine decree. Each one holds infinite possibility. Yet you know instinctively they cannot simply be scattered upon the ground as it is. The soil must be prepared. Stones must be lifted. Old weeds must be pulled. The ground must be softened for new life. And so, beloved, we pause here in the sacred preparation. Because abundance is not forced. It is not wrestled into being. It is natural. And just as the tree does not strive to grow, so your wealth will not come by strain, but by reflection. Let us dwell on this truth. You are not chasing wealth. You are preparing to receive what has always been yours. But what does preparation look like? First, it is a shift in understanding. You begin to see wealth not as something out there, but as something that flows from within. You cease measuring abundance by what you possess and begin to measure it by who you are. This alone clears many stones from the soil. For when you no longer cling to appearances, when you no longer judge yourself by the outer mirror, you are free. The soil loosens, the heart softens. Second preparation is choosing your decree. Florence Scovel Shinn taught the power of words because words are seeds. Each thought, each whisper, each phrase is planted into the soil of your being. To say I can't afford this is to plant weeds. To say I always receive what I need is to plant gold. What seeds have you been planting? What harvest are you seeing now? Do not despair if the field seems barren today, you begin anew. Third preparation is faith in the unseen. The gardener does not demand immediate bloom. He trusts the mystery of soil and time. Likewise, you are called to trust the unseen, even when appearances deny you stand firm in identity. This is the test of appearances, the divine invitation to hold your decree steady until the mirror surrenders. Let us pause here. Close your eyes if you wish. Place your hand gently over your heart. Whisper, I am preparing the ground. I am fertile soil for wealth. Abundance grows in me. Say it again. I am fertile soil for wealth. And once more with certainty, abundance grows in me. Can you feel the soil of your being soften? Now let us step deeper into this preparation with a story. There was a young man who longed for prosperity. He studied tirelessly, worked 2 jobs, and tried every method he could find. Yet money always seemed to vanish. He lived with a clenched fist, fearful of losing what little he had. One day, he encountered the teaching of Florence Scovel Shinn. He read the words, "Your word is your wand." At first he laughed. How could words change his life? But something stirred. He began to experiment. He whispered daily, I am wealthy. Money flows to me in perfect ways. At first, nothing changed. His bills still came. His account was still small. but he noticed a subtle shift. He felt lighter. His chest opened. He smiled more often. For the first time, he ordered a meal without scanning the menu for the cheapest option. He tipped the waitress with quiet joy. Not because he had extra, but because he was preparing the ground. And slowly, the soil bore fruit. A friend recommended him for a better job. A debt was unexpectedly forgiven. An opportunity arose that multiplied his income. He had not forced wealth. He had not chased it. He had prepared the soil of identity, and wealth came as reflection. This is the path before you now. Beloved soul, hear this. The soil is your identity. The rain is your feeling. The seed is your word. Together they create inevitable harvest. Do not rush. Do not strain. Trust the process. For when the soil is ready, abundance must grow. Let us now speak of the 2-day identity shift, a simple yet profound practice to prepare the soil quickly and powerfully. For 2 days, you are invited to step fully into your wealthy identity. Not as play acting, not as costume, but as crown. For 2 days, every word you speak, every choice you make, every thought you think must align with wealth. You ask yourself, what would wealthy me think right now? What would wealthy me say? What would wealthy me feel? And you respond as if it were already true. At first, resistance may come. The old soil will whisper, but look at the bills. Look at the account. Look at the lack. This is the test of appearances. Smile at it. Do not fight it. Simply answer with identity. Wealth belongs to me. It is who I am. 2 days. 48 hours. Long enough to feel the crown settle. Long enough to shift the soil. Long enough to begin attracting new reflections. For once you taste this identity, you will not wish to return. Let us seal this preparation with affirmations. Say them softly with me. I am fertile soil for wealth. Wealth belongs to me because it is who I am. I do not chase wealth. Wealth reflects me. I trust the unseen. The harvest is certain. Pause. Breathe. Feel the ground beneath your feet, rich and ready. The soil is prepared. The seeds are chosen. The rain has begun to fall. And soon the garden of your life will bloom in ways you cannot yet imagine. For abundance is natural. Wealth is identity. Reflection is certain. And the ground is ready. The garden is ready. There is a moment in every day that feels like a soft threshold, a doorway between the visible and the invisible. It is that brief, tender state when your mind begins to loosen from the grip of wakefulness, but has not yet surrendered to the currents of sleep. Science calls this the hypnagogic state. Florence Scovel Shinn would have called it the fertile soil of the subconscious. Think of it like a candle at dusk. The flame is still burning, but the daylight around it is fading. In the brightness of noon, the flame seems faint, but at twilight, the flame glows brighter, clearer, undeniable. Your conscious mind is like the daylight. It dominates, analyzes, reasons, questions. But as the sun of your conscious thinking begins to set, the flame of the subconscious becomes visible. And this is the exact time when new ideas, new wealth identities, new visions of self can be impressed upon the deep soil of your being. Let us pause here, because I want you to see how beautifully science and metaphysics dance together. Florence Scovel taught that the subconscious is obedient, fertile, impressionable. She said it accepts without question whatever is spoken to it with conviction. Neuroscience today echoes this truth in its own language. During the hypnagogic state, the brain naturally shifts from beta waves, the fast, busy frequency of ordinary waking thought, into alpha and even theta waves, slower rhythms that open the door to imagination, memory integration, and heightened suggestibility. It is in this rhythm that the subconscious becomes most porous. Here, your nervous system is not on guard. Here, resistance softens. Here, your affirmations do not bounce back against a wall of doubt, but seep inward like water into soil. When you are drowsy, you are not less powerful. You are, in fact, more powerful. You are standing at the threshold of the hidden workshop where beliefs are crafted and reality is molded. Let me return to that candle at dusk because I want you to see it vividly. Imagine sitting in a room as the day fades. The outlines of objects blur, edges soften. The air feels quieter, as if the world itself is taking a breath. In this softened space, the flame of a candle seems to flicker with greater presence. That is your subconscious in the hypnagogic state. During the busy noise of the day, your affirmations, I call $10,000 before September 30th, may sound faint against the roar of bills, worries, to-do lists. But when you are lying in bed at night, or when you have just awakened in the morning, that same affirmation glows. It feels more alive. It begins to seep in, to sink down, to plant itself. This is not coincidence. This is law. The law of imagination and the law of the subconscious. Why am I dwelling here so carefully? Because wealth identity is not just a concept, it is an impression. Most people attempt to change their financial reality with effort alone, more hours, more hustling, more strain. But as Shinn taught, and as neuroscience confirms, reality follows belief. Your outer circumstances are not first movers, they are mirrors, and the mirror reflects the image held in the subconscious. If you want more money, you must not just want. You must seed into your subconscious the identity of one who already has. And the hypnagogic state is the garden. When you declare at this threshold, it's already mine. $10,000 by September 30th flows to me with ease your subconscious does not argue. It receives. It absorbs. It begins to reorganize your perception, your energy, your nervous system toward that outcome. Let me bring in one more bridge of science because some of you listening are both spiritual and analytical. Research in cognitive psychology shows that the hypnagogic state increases neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Memories, when revisited in this state, consolidate more deeply. New associations form more easily. In other words, the brain is primed to accept new realities. Thomas Edison knew this. He famously napped in a chair holding steel balls in his hands so that as he drifted into the hypnagogic state, the balls would drop and wake him. He harvested that moment for creativity. Salvador Dali did the same, sketching images that arose in this fertile state. If inventors and artists use it for breakthroughs, why would you not use it for wealth? Florence Scovel would say. Because you have not known the law. But once you know, you cannot unknow. Once you see the candle glow at dusk, you cannot pretend the flame is dark. So how do we use this? How do we step into the laboratory of our subconscious with intention? It is simple. Tonight, when you lie down, and tomorrow when you wake, resist the temptation to reach for your phone. Do not allow the noise of the world to rush into your soil before you plant your own seed. Instead, speak deliberately. Choose one wealth declaration precise and clear, like a letter with an exact address. I call $10,000 by September 30th. Repeat it softly like a lullaby. Whisper it to yourself until your body relaxes. Feel it sink, and then let go. Let your subconscious hold it through the night. This is where we impress new wealth identity. This is not effort. This is not strain. This is surrender into a deeper law. Florence Scovel Shinn once wrote, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." Notice the order: you must see it before you can hold it. You must feel it before it can arrive. This is where so many seekers miss the mark. They affirm words, but their inner state remains unchanged. They repeat, "I am wealthy," with their lips, while their chest feels tight with fear. The subconscious hears the fear, not the words. So here, in this moment, we practice the art of wealth, feeling the inner rehearsal that makes abundance not an idea, but a lived state. Let's begin with a paradox. The wealth you seek will not appear until you have rehearsed its presence inside you. The world reflects your state, and state is more than words. It is emotion, posture, rhythm, breath. Imagine this: an actor preparing for a role does not merely memorize lines. They embody. They walk as the character breathe, as the character feel the world through the character's skin. And then on stage, the performance is seamless because the identity has been rehearsed. You too are rehearsing a role, the role of your wealthy self. Not someday wealthy, but already wealthy. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself lying in bed tonight. The sheets are cool, your body is relaxed, the day is dissolving. In that tender, hypnagogic state, you begin to whisper, "It's already mine." Let those words echo in your chest. Not as a command, not as effort, as recognition. Now picture your bank account with the extra $10,000. See the number clearly, as if you have just logged in. Notice the decimal places, the clarity of the digits. Breathe into the relief of it. Feel the way your shoulders drop when you realize the money has already arrived. Sense the smile that rises effortlessly. Let your nervous system taste the ease. Pause. Breathe. Whisper again, "It's already mine." To make this real, we must go deeper than sight. We must involve sensation, sound, touch, smell. Hear the rustle of crisp bills as if you're holding them. Smell the faint metallic scent of coins. Feel the smooth swipe of a new debit card carrying a higher balance. Imagine the sound of your own laughter at the ease of it. Now layer the emotions. Safety first, how safe it feels to know you are provided for. Then ease the exhale of relief. Then joy, the lightness of having more than enough. Then gratitude, the fullness of your heart as you say, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And now whisper one more time, "It's already mine." Why do we practice this? Because the subconscious does not speak English, Spanish, or any other tongue. The language of the subconscious is emotion. Words without emotion are like letters without ink. They cannot leave an impression. But when you charge your affirmation with genuine feeling, safety, joy, gratitude, the subconscious accepts it as truth. Neuroscience confirms this: emotional experiences create stronger neural pathways. The brain marks them as important, worthy of integration. In other words, what you feel, you become. So let us extend this practice beyond imagination. Let us embody it. If $10,000 were already yours, how would you walk tomorrow? Would your steps be lighter? Would your spine be straighter? Would you smile more easily at strangers? Practice that now. Sit taller. Loosen your breath. Let your body rehearse the posture of abundance. This is not pretending. This is pre-living. Florence Shinn taught that the game of life is a game of substitution. You substitute lack with abundance, fear with faith, doubt with ownership. And the substitution must be felt. Let us return to the phrase again, slowly, gently. "It's already mine." Pause. breathe, it's already mine. Feel how with each repetition, the phrase becomes less of a wish and more of a recognition. You are not begging, you are remembering. Tonight, when you lie in bed, let this be your lullaby. Tomorrow, when you wake, let it be your first breath. Each repetition presses the image deeper until the subconscious begins to reorganize your reality around it. But before we move, let me ask you, if you are ready to try this practice tonight, type in the comments, "It's already mine," because the moment you claim it, the seed is already planted. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Your word is your wand. With every word spoken in faith, you draw into your life the very picture you declare. But a wand only works if you hold it firmly. A careless flick produces no magic. A precise, intentional movement spoken with authority creates transformation." This is the heart of affirmation. Not vague hoping, not tentative wishing, but anchoring. Most people unknowingly sabotage themselves with the wrong words. They say, "I hope money comes soon. I wish I had more. Maybe one day." But these words place wealth in the future out of reach. They are words of distance, not ownership. Hope is a postponement. Wish is a dismissal. Maybe is a cancellation stamp. Shinn taught that words must carry the vibration of ownership. You do not ask for what is already yours. You claim it. You step into it. You name it, and it answers. Let me give you a metaphor. Imagine you have inherited a house. The deed is already signed. The property is already legally yours. But you have not yet claimed the keys. If you stand outside saying, "I wish this house could be mine," nothing moves. The law has already granted it to you, but your words deny it. But the moment you say, "This is my house," you walk inside. You inhabit it. You furnish it. You live there. Affirmation works the same way. Wealth is already yours in the invisible. Your subconscious holds the deed, but you must claim the keys with the right words. Listen carefully. There is a difference between "I want $10,000. I will have $10,000. I call $10,000 before September 30th. $10,000 is already mine." Do you feel the subtle but radical shift? Want emphasizes lack. It points to what you do not have. Will places wealth in the future, always one step ahead of you. Call declares intention specific and direct. Already mine seals ownership. The subconscious responds to ownership. It obeys certainty. Let us practice together. Wherever you are, repeat these phrases softly in your mind as I say them. I call $10,000 before September 30th. $10,000 is already mine. Money flows to me with ease and speed. I am already provided for. Do you feel how repetition begins to create rhythm? That rhythm is not accidental. It is the drumbeat of the subconscious. Each phrase is a hammer stroke impressing the identity deeper. Affirmations are not one-time events. They are steady anchors. Every time you repeat them, you reassert ownership. You remind your nervous system, "This is who I am now." Think of it like a song that gets stuck in your head. At first, you hear it once, then again. Then it repeats until you hum it unconsciously. That is what we are doing with wealth affirmations. We are embedding a new song into your subconscious so it hums abundance without your effort. This is subtle, but life-changing. Most people approach wealth from a position of desire, "I want more." But desire emphasizes distance. Ownership emphasizes presence. Florence Scovel insisted that the game of life is played with words of completion. She taught, never use the word want. Want means to lack. Instead, speak in terms of already having. This is not delusion. This is law. By speaking ownership, you impress ownership. By impressing ownership, you embody ownership. And by embodying ownership, the outer world arranges to match. Let me lead you through a sequence now. Breathe deeply. Feel each phrase as you silently repeat, "After me I call $10,000 before September 30th. $10,000 is already mine. My wealth is secure. My wealth is certain. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. I live in safety, ease, joy, and gratitude." Repeat them slowly. Feel the ownership settle into your body. With affirmation, something always begins to shift. Sometimes subtly, sometimes dramatically. Tomorrow you may notice a new idea, a new opportunity, a new conversation. You may find yourself guided to take an action you had not considered before. Do not dismiss it. That is your subconscious rearranging the outer world to reflect the inner claim. Remember, your affirmations are not empty words. They are seeds. They are keys. They are contracts written in invisible ink that soon become visible. And so as you anchor with affirmations tonight and tomorrow, remember you are not begging. You are claiming. You are not hoping. You are owning. Tomorrow something begins to move. There is a secret rhythm to manifestation that most overlook. It is not random. It is not vague. It follows a living timeline. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that the moment you make a declaration with conviction, something begins to move immediately, seen or unseen. And modern science agrees the nervous system recalibrates within 48 hours to align with new patterns. This is why the first 2 days of this practice are so important. In just 48 hours, your inner reality shifts. Day 1, the seed is planted. Picture this: it is the first night you have truly claimed wealth as already yours. You have whispered, "It's already mine. $10,000 before September 30th. You have rehearsed the feelings of safety, joy, and gratitude. You have gone to sleep carrying ownership into the soil of the subconscious. On day 1, the seed is planted. The outer world may look unchanged. Bills may still sit on your counter. But within you, something invisible has shifted. Your nervous system has received new instructions. Your subconscious is rearranging priorities, filtering opportunities differently, making you more receptive to wealth in ways you cannot yet see. It is like a light switch turned on in a dark room. At first, you may only notice the glow around the edges. But you know the current is flowing. Why is this so powerful? Because your nervous system acts like the gatekeeper of experience. For years, it has been tuned to scarcity. It has filtered your perception to match lack. You may have walked past opportunities, dismissed ideas, overlooked resources, because your subconscious identity said, "I am one who lacks." But in the moment you claim ownership with affirmation, your nervous system begins to recalibrate. It starts to align with the identity of wealth. It relaxes its grip on fear and begins to open toward possibility. Neuroscience calls this reticular activation. The brain pays attention to what you identify with. When you buy a new car, suddenly you see that model everywhere. Not because they just appeared, but because your mind is now attuned to them. So too with money. The moment you say $10,000 is already mine, your mind begins scanning the world for evidence of wealth, for doors opening for ideas worth pursuing. Let me tell you a story. A woman began this practice on a Tuesday night. She declared with conviction, "It's already mine." $10,000 by the end of the month. On day 1, nothing happened outwardly, but inside she noticed she felt calmer. Instead of obsessing over bills, she breathed more easily. She wrote her affirmation in her journal in the morning and went about her day with lightness. On day 2, she received a call from a former colleague. They had a freelance project available exactly in her skill set and the budget for the work just over $10,000. She laughed aloud because she knew this was not coincidence. This was confirmation. Now, does it always happen in exactly this way? No. For some, it is an idea. For others, a new client. For others, unexpected refunds or gifts. But in every case, within the first 2 days, something stirs. The current begins to flow. Let's be honest, at first disbelief may whisper. On day 1, part of you may still wonder, can this really work? That is normal. But as you continue the practice, joy begins to rise. You feel lighter. You feel as if something invisible has shifted in your favor. By day 2, confirmation begins to appear. Small signs, a surprise message, a sudden burst of inspiration, an unexpected invitation remind you that the universe is listening. The journey is disbelief, joy, confirmation, and each step strengthens your identity as one who calls money by name and sees it appear. Imagine your subconscious as a vast control room with thousands of switches. For years, the switch labeled wealth may have been turned off, not because the power wasn't available, but because the identity was misaligned. On day 1, as you affirm ownership, you flip that switch. Suddenly, circuits hum, energy flows, lights flicker on in corridors of possibility you hadn't seen before. By day 2, you begin to notice doors unlocking. The machinery of reality is rearranging itself in your favor. So I invite you to commit for 2 days, immerse yourself in this practice. Morning and night, whisper your affirmation. It's already mine. $10,000 before September 30th. Breathe it, feel it, embody it. Do this without strain, without checking constantly for proof. Simply trust. Plant the seed and water it with repetition, because by day 2, something will shift. But here is where the journey takes its first test. For on day 3, when reality has not yet fully caught up, doubt often knocks at the door. The storm before sunrise appears. Every transformation includes a test. Every new identity must pass through fire before it shines. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the test of appearances, the moment when the outer world seems unchanged, even resistant, and faith is challenged. This test does not come to punish you. It comes to prove you. By day 1, you have planted the seed. By day 2, you have felt the stirrings of confirmation. But day 3 often arrives like a clouded sky. You wake up, and bills are still there. No check has yet arrived. The world looks stubbornly the same. And in this moment, your mind whispers, "See, nothing has changed. This doesn't work. This is the threshold." Think of the hours just before dawn. They are often the darkest. The sky seems heavy, the stars faint. If you judged by appearance alone, you might believe the sun would never rise. But we know it is inevitable. The earth is already turning, light is already approaching. So too with manifestation. On day 3, you may face the storm before sunrise. Appearances may look darker, not lighter. But beneath the surface, everything is already moving. Every hero's journey includes a test. Moses had to step into the Red Sea before it parted. Abraham had to climb the mountain before the ram appeared. Even Christ said, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet believe." Your day 3 is this test. Faith without sight, ownership without evidence. It is not here to break you. It is here to confirm. Do you truly believe what you declared? A man once began affirming, "I called $10,000 before the 30th. It is already mine." For 2 days, he felt lighter, more alive. He even received a few unexpected opportunities. But on day 3, his car broke down. An unexpected repair bill appeared. For a moment, he was tempted to throw away the practice to say, "See, it failed." But instead, he remembered the law. He remembered that every appearance is a test. He held steady, continued affirming, and thanked God that provision was already his. 2 days later, he received a bonus at work enough to cover the repair and still leave him with abundance. If he had abandoned faith on day 3, the story would have ended in defeat. But because he held steady, the seed bore fruit. See it like this: when you declare a new wealth identity, the old identity does not vanish quietly. It rattles the cage. It whispers doubt. It throws appearances at you to test your loyalty. Your task is simple: remain loyal to your new identity. Do not bend. Do not cancel your words with fear. Do not let appearances trick you. Remember, appearances are echoes of the old identity. They are fading photographs, not current reality. When day 3 comes, rejoice, truly celebrate, because the test means the seed is alive. The resistance is proof of movement. The old pattern is breaking. Florence Scovel said, "When man knows his own powers and believes in them, he creates for himself the environment he desires." The test is where belief solidifies into knowing. So let us practice now. If you are facing the test of appearances, place your hand on your heart and repeat after me. I remain loyal to my wealth identity. I am unmoved by appearances. I walk by faith, not by sight. My wealth is already mine. The sunrise is inevitable. Breathe. Feel the strength return. And if you are listening to this on day 3 right now, I want you to know you are not alone. Many are walking with you through this exact test. So I invite you, write in the comments, "I'm holding faith." Because by declaring it publicly, you anchor yourself more deeply. You remind not only your subconscious, but your community that you are standing firm. The test of appearances is not the end. It is the doorway. Once you walk through it with faith intact, the shift becomes unstoppable. The wealth you have called by name must appear because the law cannot fail. So hold steady, stay loyal. The storm before sunrise always yields to light. Beloved listener, we now arrive at the moment where all the seeds we have planted must bloom into daily life. The words we have spoken, the ideas we have turned over in the mind, the affirmations that have taken root in the heart, all of these now become the garment you wear as you step into the world. This is no longer theory. This is embodiment, wealth, abundance, sufficiency. These are no longer concepts you chase. They are your identity. Imagine for a moment stepping into a tailor shop. A garment is prepared for you. It is not too tight, not too loose, not ill-fitted in any way. It is yours, designed for your form, your stature, your essence. You put it on, and for the first time you feel the truth. I am clothed in wealth. I am wrapped in sufficiency. I walk in the fabric of abundance itself. Wealth is not pretending. It is not play acting. Pretending says, I am not yet, but I will try to appear. Being says, I already am, therefore my steps, my words, my choices naturally express it. Consider the story of Evelyn. For years, she shrank when she saw a price tag. At the grocery store, she would linger, calculating, whispering to herself, "Can I afford this?" In clothing shops, she would touch fabrics and then quickly withdraw her hand as though luxury itself was forbidden to her. Even at restaurants, she scanned menus not for what she desired, but for what was cheapest. One day, Evelyn caught herself. She realized she was living in reaction to price tags rather than response to her own divine supply. She remembered the law: what you prepare for, you receive; what you expect, you invite. So she shifted. She decided, I am wealth. I am abundance. I no longer shrink back from numbers, for numbers bow to the law of my consciousness. The next time she entered a store, she walked differently. She touched the fabrics and allowed herself to linger. She picked up what she desired first, not what her fears dictated. She ordered the meal she actually craved rather than the meal that looked safe. And with each act, she affirmed, I am wealth in expression. I am not afraid of numbers. I am not at the mercy of tags, menus, or bills. I am the living supply of God flowing freely. Within months, her finances rearranged themselves. Opportunities appeared. Unexpected checks arrived. Raises came unasked. And Evelyn realized it had never been about the money, it had always been about her identity. This, dear one, is what it means to live in the wealth identity. Not in rare moments of meditation only, but in the small, sacred choices of everyday life. When you walk as wealth. Feel the ground beneath you as though every step draws forth divine provision. Each step is a claim. The ground I walk upon is holy, and it yields abundance for me. When you speak as wealth. Do not apologize for your desires. Do not diminish your words. Wealth speaks with quiet confidence, never with desperate grasping. Wealth declares, I am well supplied, I am richly resourced. My words command my world. When you choose as wealth. Choose food, clothing, experiences, not with the calculation of fear, but with the freedom of identity. If wealth is who you are, then wealth is in your choices. Let us affirm together now. Speak aloud if you can, or whisper if you must, but let the words pass through your lips, for the tongue carries the wand of creation. I live as wealth today. I walk as one who is abundantly supplied. I speak as one whose words are golden. I choose as one who trusts the infinite source. I do not pretend I embody. I do not wait. I live it now. Wealth is the garment I wear. Abundance is the fragrance I carry. Prosperity is the rhythm of my steps. This is who I am. Repeat these words again, slower this time, as though you are weaving them into your very breath. This is who I am. Not a goal, not a someday, not a far-off dream. This is identity. Think of the tree. The tree does not apologize for taking sunlight. The tree does not shrink back when rain falls. It does not say, this is too much, I must not receive. No, the tree receives boldly, abundantly, unapologetically, because that is its nature. And so it grows strong, fruitful, magnificent. So too with you. You are the tree planted by rivers of living waters. You extend your roots deep into the soil of divine abundance. You lift your branches high into the sky of infinite possibility. You receive without shrinking, for to receive is your very design. Every day, you must remind yourself, I am not outside of wealth, trying to get in. I am wealth itself, expressing outward. Let us deepen the layering now. Close your eyes if you can. See yourself walking into your day. See the way you stand, shoulders tall, heart open, breath steady. Feel the way your words flow, measured, certain, filled with assurance. Watch yourself making choices not from fear, but from freedom. See yourself walking into a store. Instead of shrinking, you expand. Instead of whispering, you declare inwardly, all that I desire is already mine, and I move freely within my supply. See yourself receiving money, a check, a gift, an unexpected sum. You do not say, oh, I don't deserve this, or this is too much. You say, of course, this is natural. I am wealth receiving itself. This is not fantasy. This is reality when you accept identity. Every affirmation we speak must move from the lips to the cells, from the mind to the marrow. Let us breathe it in together. I am the living wealth of God in expression. I no longer shrink. I no longer apologize. I no longer wait for permission. I wear wealth as my natural garment. I walk in confidence. I speak with clarity. I choose with freedom. From here, wealth flows naturally. Yes, beloved, from here, wealth flows naturally. For wealth is not a force you must push, not a mountain you must climb, not a wall you must break through. Wealth is a current already flowing, waiting only for you to step into alignment with who you already are. I am wealth now. I am wealth always. Wealth flows from me as me through me. From here, wealth flows naturally. Beloved soul, we must now address one of the most subtle traps that has ensnared countless hearts, the trap of conditional feeling. Most people live as though their emotions must wait for permission. They say, I will feel abundant when my bank account rises. I will feel secure when the bills are paid. I will feel wealthy when I see evidence in my hands. And so they postpone the very vibration that calls forth their supply. But here is the law. Feeling precedes form. Consciousness sets the stage, and conditions simply follow. Imagine with me a cycle drawn upon the canvas of the mind. At the top of the circle, you see the word condition. Beneath it, you see feeling. Beneath that, you see repetition. And the circle turns endlessly. Condition gives birth to feeling. Feeling solidifies into repetition. Repetition recreates the same condition again. Most of the world lives in this loop. When conditions are poor, they feel poor. Feeling poor, they repeat thoughts, words, and actions that manifest more lack. The cycle spins like a wheel, endlessly repeating itself. But you, beloved listener, are not here to live by condition. You are here to reverse the cycle. Instead of waiting for conditions to dictate your feeling, you declare your feeling first. You rise in the morning and say, I feel wealthy because wealth is who I am. I feel abundant because abundance is my birthright. I feel secure because God is my eternal source. And what happens? That feeling creates a new repetition, new words, new choices, new vibrations, and soon new conditions begin to form. You have stepped out of the cycle of effect and into the law of cause. Let us paint another image, the thermostat. In your home, there is a device that controls the temperature. You do not wait until the room is warm to set the thermostat. You set the thermostat first, and the room follows. Your feeling is the thermostat of wealth. If you set your inner temperature at lack, fear, worry, unworthiness, your conditions adjust to match. If you set your inner temperature at wealth, gratitude, abundance, sufficiency, your world must by law align. This is not wishful thinking. This is divine science. Now let us contrast the two cycles, the cycle of scarcity and the cycle of abundance. The scarcity cycle whispers, I will feel good when I see proof. I will feel safe when money comes. I will feel rich when I finally have. This is slavery to outer appearances. But the abundance cycle proclaims, I feel good now. I feel safe now. I feel rich now. And therefore, the outer must bend to the inner decree. Do you see the difference? One waits in chains, the other leads in freedom. Beloved, let us pause now for reflection. Place your hand on your heart and ask yourself gently, have I been waiting for proof before allowing myself to feel? Have I placed my emotions at the mercy of numbers, accounts, or appearances? If the answer is yes, do not condemn yourself. Simply recognize it and step into your power. For the moment you choose to feel, first the cycle is broken. Now let us affirm together, weaving new vibrations into your being. I am the cause, not the effect. I set the tone of my wealth today. I feel abundance now and conditions follow. I feel peace now and supply flows to me. I feel gratitude now and increase multiplies. I am the thermostat of my prosperity. I do not wait, I declare. I do not chase, I align. I do not bow to appearances, I command appearances. I am the cause, not the effect. Breathe these words into your chest. Feel them expand through your ribs. Allow them to set a new temperature higher, warmer, more radiant than before. Let me share with you the story of Samuel. Samuel worked tirelessly at his job, believing wealth would arrive when he finally received a raise. Each day, he thought, "When my boss notices me, then I will feel secure." But the raise never came. One evening, exhausted, he sat with this teaching. He realized he had been waiting for external proof to bless him. He decided to reverse it. The next morning before work, he spoke aloud. "I feel wealthy today, not because of my paycheck, but because I am the expression of divine wealth. I am the source, not the seeker." That day, he walked into the office differently. He spoke with confidence. He radiated assurance. And within weeks, opportunities came from unexpected directions, not only a raise at work, but also a side project that blossomed into a thriving business. Samuel had discovered the law: when you lead with feeling, condition follows. Now I want you to picture a wheel in your mind once more. See the old cycle: condition, feeling, repetition. See it spinning, spinning, spinning. And now imagine yourself stepping out of it. Step to the side, take hold of the wheel, and reverse it. Now it reads: feeling, repetition, condition. Say aloud: I reverse the cycle. I am the cause. I am the leader. I set the tone. Yes, beloved, this is your power. And now, a practice today. Choose one moment where you would normally wait for proof, and instead feel first. If you look at your account and the numbers seem small, breathe deeply and say, "This is only an appearance. I feel abundant now. Therefore, increase flows to me." If you receive a bill, instead of shrinking, declare, "This is already paid in full. I feel peace and provision appears." If you see someone living the life you desire, instead of envying, affirm, "What I admire, I embody. Their wealth is proof of my own potential. I feel joy now, and mine arrives." Every choice to feel first breaks the old loop and establishes the new one. I am no longer a prisoner of condition. I am no longer a servant of appearances. I am the thermostat of wealth. I am the cause, not the effect. I set the vibration of abundance, and the world rearranges to match my decree. I lead with feeling, and wealth follows me as surely as shadow follows light. Pause now. Breathe deeply. Allow the silence to carry these words deeper than thought into the realm of knowing. If this truth resonates in your heart, I invite you to respond. Comment 1. If you choose today to lead with feeling, not wait for proof. Comment 2. If you recognize where you have been trapped in the cycle and you are now ready to break free. Your declaration strengthens your decision. And as you do remember this final transition, you are the cause, not the effect. Beloved one, having clothed yourself in the wealth identity and having broken the cycle of conditional feeling, we now step into a deeper revelation. Wealth is not accumulation. Wealth is expression. Many still imagine wealth as piles of coins, stacks of bills numbers in an account. They think wealth is something gathered, hoarded, defended, or lost. But this is the limited vision of a world intoxicated by appearances. Wealth, in its truest essence, is consciousness. It is not the heap, but the flow. Not the storage, but the stream. Picture a river. See how it moves without strain, without hesitation. It does not push itself to flow. It simply flows because that is its nature. The river does not say, I must gather more water, I must prove my abundance. No, the river is abundance in motion. So too is your wealth. It is not something you force, chase, or cling to. It is the river of divine supply moving through you. You are not a reservoir locked and guarded. You are a living channel. Say aloud with me now. Wealth is who I am. Wealth is not my possession, it is my expression. I am the river, not the bucket. I am the stream, not the stagnant pool. I flow, and therefore, I am supplied. Many have been trained to fear loss, to grip tightly, to hoard, as though life were a desert and supply a rare oasis. But life is not desert, it is garden. And the garden blooms not from storing, but from circulating. Consider the flowers. They do not store the sunlight, clutching it desperately for fear it may never return. They absorb it, they transform it, and they shine it outward as color, fragrance, beauty. They express wealth, and therefore they live in wealth. So too, you are not here to grip, but to express. Now let us enter the layering of emotion. Wealth, when seen rightly, does not bring tension, but relief. Feel into this now. Imagine your shoulders dropping, your jaw softening, your breath deepening. Wealth is not strain, it is release. From relief comes trust. You know you do not need to scheme or struggle, for the law is faithful. Trust is leaning back into the river, allowing it to carry you. From trust comes peace, and peace is the fertile soil in which all demonstrations grow. Relief, trust, peace. This is the emotional trinity of true wealth. Let it move through you even now. Let us tell the story of Adrian. Adrian once believed wealth meant accumulating as much as possible, storing it like grain in a barn. He worked long hours, skipped vacations, counted every cent. And though his account grew, his heart remained restless, anxious, burdened. One day, he sat by a riverbank. Watching the water, he realized the river is not anxious, yet it never runs dry. It flows because it is connected to its source. In that moment, Adrian saw that he too was connected to infinite source, to divine supply. He need not hoard. He need not clutch. He needed only to trust the flow and allow it to move through him. From then on, Adrian shifted. He gave freely and more returned. He rested and opportunities appeared. He stopped clinging and wealth multiplied. Adrian discovered the truth. Wealth is natural expression. Beloved, hear me. You are not trying to get wealth. You are wealth expressing. You are not chasing a stream. You are the stream itself. You are not lacking the flow. You are the flow. Say it once more with conviction. Wealth is who I am. Wealth is not something I gather, it is something I allow. Wealth is not outside, it flows from within. I am the river, never dry, always supplied. Take a moment now to visualize yourself as this river. See yourself at its source, pure, clear, abundant water rushing forth from the mountain of divine supply. Feel the energy of movement, endless, inexhaustible. Watch it travel through valleys, nourishing fields, refreshing villages. Wherever it flows, life multiplies. You are that river. Your wealth blesses, nourishes, multiplies, not because you hoard, but because you express. And when you give, when you spend, when you share, you do not decrease, you circulate. Just as a river that waters the land is replenished by rains, so too your giving calls forth return. Let us deepen the affirmation cycle now. Speak slowly, letting each phrase wash over you like water. I flow, therefore I am supplied. I release, therefore I receive. I circulate, therefore I expand. I trust, therefore I prosper. I am not accumulation, I am expression. Wealth is who I am. Yes, beloved, wealth is not what you do. It is not even what you have. It is who you are. This realization changes everything. For when you know you are wealth, you stop clinging to appearances. You stop fearing loss. You stop chasing shadows. Instead, you rest in your essence and expression flows naturally. The tree does not apologize for bearing fruit. The sun does not apologize for shining light. The river does not apologize for flowing. Why should you apologize for wealth when it is your very identity? No longer say, I hope wealth will come. Instead, say, I am wealth, and wealth expresses itself through me in perfect ways. Now, beloved, let us move through a 3-part breathing practice of embodiment. Inhale, relief. As you breathe in, say silently, wealth is release. Feel your muscles soften. Exhale, trust. As you breathe out, say silently, I lean into the river. Feel yourself carried. Inhale, peace. As you breathe in again, whisper, all is supplied. Allow calm to fill you. Repeat this cycle 3 times slowly. Relief, trust, peace. This is the rhythm of wealth. I am wealth in natural expression. I am the river, never forced, always flowing. I live in relief. I lean in trust. I rest in peace. Wealth is not what I seek, it is who I am. And because I am wealth, wealth multiplies, circulates, and blesses all I touch. Beloved one, carry this truth. Wealth is who you are. And from this truth, we now move gently into the next practice, the guided integration of your wealth identity, where words become breath and breath becomes being. Beloved one, we now arrive at the sacred heart of our journey, the place where teaching becomes embodiment, where words are no longer only heard, but breathed, lived, and woven into the very cells of your being. This is not a moment for rushing. This is a moment for integration. For in the silence of practice, the seeds of truth take root, grow deep, and bear fruit. I invite you now to sit comfortably or lie down if you prefer. Let your body be at ease. Loosen the shoulders, unclench the jaw, soften the gaze. Take a slow, deep breath in and release. Again, breathe in gently and release. Allow each breath to be a signal to your entire being. It is safe to rest. It is safe to receive. It is safe to embody wealth as my identity. Close your eyes if you can. Imagine before you a doorway carved with golden light. This is the doorway to your wealth identity. Step toward it slowly. Feel the ground beneath your feet firm, strong, steady. As you cross the threshold, you enter a sanctuary within yourself, a sacred inner temple where wealth is not something you chase. It is the air you breathe. Look around this inner sanctuary. The walls glisten with abundance. The floor radiates with provision. The air itself hums with sufficiency. This is not a place outside you. It is the truest expression of you. Breathe deeply here. With every inhale, feel the presence of wealth filling your lungs. With every exhale, release the old identity of lack. Inhale abundance. Exhale fear. Inhale provision. Exhale doubt. Inhale wealth. Exhale limitation. Yes, beloved, you are being reborn in this very breath. Now see before you a garment folded neatly, shimmering with light. This garment was made only for you. It is the clothing of your wealth identity. Reach out, take it in your hands. Notice its texture, soft, strong, radiant. Place it over your shoulders. As you wear it, feel how perfectly it fits, not too tight, not too loose. This is your natural state. As the garment settles upon you, affirm silently or aloud, I wear wealth as my natural garment. I am clothed in abundance. I am wrapped in sufficiency. I walk in prosperity as my everyday attire. Take a breath and feel the truth of these words soaking into your skin. You are no longer pretending. You are clothed in your true identity. Now see yourself walking forward in this inner sanctuary. Each step you take, the floor beneath you glows brighter. Each step affirms, I am wealth. I am abundance. I am supplied. Hear the sound of your footsteps, steady, confident, powerful. With every movement, you are writing into your body the rhythm of prosperity. Pause for a moment and imagine walking into your real life tomorrow. The grocery store, the office, the street, the cafe, still wearing this garment of wealth, still moving with this rhythm of abundance. How different would you feel? How different would you speak? How different would you choose? Affirm, now I walk in wealth. I carry prosperity into every room. I am the fragrance of abundance. I am the rhythm of sufficiency. Now turn your attention to your voice. In this inner sanctuary, you open your mouth and hear yourself speaking. But your words are not filled with fear. They are golden, flowing, creative. You hear yourself declaring, all that I need is already mine. My words are commands of prosperity. I bless with my tongue, and blessing returns multiplied. I speak with authority, for my word is law. Notice how it feels to hear your own voice in this way, steady, unshaken, powerful. Now imagine tomorrow, when you speak with others, you carry this same resonance. Your words are no longer apologies or worries. They are decrees, blessings, affirmations. Every conversation is tinged with wealth. Say aloud now with confidence, my words are golden. My speech carries power. I declare abundance, and abundance obeys. Now let us move into the breath. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe in slowly through your nose, imagining you are inhaling the fragrance of prosperity. Hold it gently, then exhale through your mouth, releasing every residue of lack. Again, inhale wealth. Exhale limitation. Inhale abundance. Exhale worry. Inhale sufficiency. Exhale doubt. With each breath, you are training your body to know that wealth is as natural as breathing. Just as air fills your lungs without strain, wealth fills your life without struggle. Whisper now, wealth is my breath. Abundance is my inhale. Peace is my exhale. I live in effortless supply. Now imagine before you a river of golden light. Step into it. Feel it surround your feet, your legs, your body until you are immersed. This river is the flow of divine supply. It carries you, supports you, refreshes you. As you float in this river, affirm inwardly, I am the river of wealth. I flow without effort. I circulate without fear. I am never dry, for I am one with the source. Feel the relief, feel the trust, feel the peace. Now, beloved, I invite you into a moment of silence. No words, no striving, just resting in the knowing I am wealth. Slowly now see yourself rising from the river. The golden water still clings to your skin, shimmering. You walk forward, back through the sanctuary, back to the doorway of golden light. As you step through, you bring with you all that you have embodied: the garment, the rhythm, the voice, the breath, the river. You return not as who you were, but as who you truly are, wealth embodied. Take a deep breath, wiggle your fingers, open your eyes when ready, and know the practice has planted itself within you. Before we close this practice, let us affirm together slowly and deeply, I am wealth. I am abundance. I am sufficiency. I wear it. I walk it. I speak it. I breathe it. I live it. Again, with more conviction, I am wealth. I am wealth. I am wealth. Beloved, you have now crossed from learning into living, from hearing into embodying. This practice is not a one-time ritual. It is your daily bread. Each morning, each evening, you may return to the breath, the garment, the river. And with each return, your identity deepens, your wealth expands, and your life transforms. Carry this integration with you now, for you are ready for the final decree, the grand closing affirmation that seals this journey. Beloved one, you have walked with me through a sacred journey. From the first whisper of possibility to the breaking of old cycles, to the discovery of wealth as natural expression, to the deep embodiment of practice, you now stand clothed in a new identity. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer seeking. You are no longer measuring yourself by appearances. You have remembered wealth is not what you get. Wealth is who you are. You began by awakening to the truth that your words shape your world, that the tongue is the wand of creation. You learned to live in the wealth identity, not pretending, but being walking, speaking, and choosing as one who is already supplied. You broke the cycle of conditional feeling, stepping out of slavery to appearances and stepping into the authority of cause. You learned to feel first, to lead with vibration, to set the thermostat of abundance. You embrace the revelation that wealth is not accumulation, but natural expression, that you are the river, never dry, never lacking, flowing in endless circulation. And then you entered practice breathing wealth, wearing wealth, speaking wealth, resting in wealth. You integrated it into body, mind, and soul. And now, beloved, you stand at the closing, ready to decree with finality. Wealth is your identity now and forever. Stand tall within yourself. Lift your head. Feel the breath steady within you. And with me now, declare these words not as wish, not as hope, but as decree. I am wealth now. I am wealth always. I am clothed in abundance. I am supplied in sufficiency. I am the river that never runs dry. I am the channel of circulation. I am the golden voice of prosperity. I am the rhythm of relief, trust, and peace. I am not moved by appearances. I command appearances. I am not a seeker of wealth. I am the very expression of wealth. Say it again with even greater power. Wealth is who I am. Wealth is who I have always been. Wealth is who I will always be. I am the living supply of God in motion. Let these words ring in your spirit like a bell. Let them echo through the chambers of your mind until no shadow of doubt remains. Yes, beloved, appearances may still rise to test you. A bill may come. A delay may show itself. A challenge may whisper. Are you sure? When this happens, do not falter. Do not bow. Do not return to old cycles. Instead, remember the decree. Speak aloud with calm assurance. This is only shadow. My supply is eternal. I am wealth, and therefore all is already provided. In that moment, the test dissolves, for appearances cannot withstand identity. Carry this rhythm into your days. When you walk, walk as wealth. When you speak, speak as wealth. When you choose, choose as wealth. When you breathe, breathe as wealth. This is not practice for someday. It is embodiment for today. Say it one more time. I live in wealth. I move in wealth. I rest in wealth. I am wealth. Beloved, hear me. The journey is not ending here. It is beginning. Every morning you rise in wealth. Every night you rest in wealth. Every step you take, every word you speak, every choice you make, is infused with abundance. For wealth is not outside you, it is you. So let this final affirmation close our time together with power. I decree that wealth is my eternal identity. I decree that abundance flows to me and through me without end. I decree that my words create my choices, align my life, multiplies. I decree that from this day forward, I live as the natural expression of divine wealth. So it is, and so it shall be. Take a breath. Feel the decree settle into your bones. It is done. If this message has spoken to your soul, if these words have awakened the wealth that has always been within you, I invite you to share it. Subscribe to this channel of truth. Share it with a friend who needs to remember. Let the river of this teaching circulate, blessing others as it has blessed you. For wealth is not meant to be hidden. Wealth is meant to be expressed, multiplied, and shared. Beloved one, go forth in your identity. Walk tall, speak boldly, choose freely, live abundantly. Wealth is already yours.